Hello friends, welcome to Shankar IAS Academy Daily Newspaper Analysis. Today's date is 10/8/2024. Displayed here are the list of articles that we are about to discuss today. See, it has been taken from several important sources like The Hindu, LiveMint and Indian Express. So without much delay, let us get started. Look at our first article. Here we are going to discuss about the latest program that has been recently launched by the Union government. This article has been taken from the newspaper LiveMint. So let's get started. See, recently the Indian Prime Minister released a 109 high quality hybrid yielding varieties of seed, which is actually climate resistant seed varieties, as a part of government's broader plan to revitalize agriculture and boost food security in India. So with this, let us discuss about one scientist and one product program. So what is this program? It is actually mainly focused on the part of land to land initiative. It is launched in 16 July 2024. Its main goal is to enhance agriculture and animal husbandry research. The progress monitoring is going to be at quarterly level by the institute itself and biannually at headquarters. It's mainly focused on high yielding oil seeds and pulses. It is mainly a 5-year plan. It has more than 5,521 scientists working to develop products, technology, models or publication to enhance the agricultural output. Moving on, let us see the program highlights. Many seed hubs have been created mainly focused on high yielding varieties of oil seeds and pulses particularly. And like I have said, it is a 5-year program which initially focuses on oil seeds and pulses. Moving on, let us see in brief about ICAR. See, it is an autonomous organization working under the Ministry of Agriculture. It has been established in 1929 and it is responsible for agriculture, horticulture, fisheries and animal sciences, research and education. Moving on, let us see the leadership structure of ICAR. See, the president of this organization is going to be Ministry of Agriculture and the vice president will be the State Minister of Agriculture. The principal executive officer is also the managing director of ICAR. See, understanding the leadership structure and their functions will come very handy in attempting UPSC prelims questions. Moving on, let us see what is actually the role of ICAR. Primarily, they focus on research and development initiatives because they try to improve the productivity and sustainability and profitability of agricultural sector holistically. Secondly, they are engaged in educational activities also, particularly at undergraduate and postgraduate and doctoral programs focusing on farmer training. Thirdly, they also engage in collaboration at national and international levels also. Fourthly, they give policy advice to governments, particularly based on scientific data to enhance agricultural outputs. Fifthly, they are known for their extension services through the knowledge dissemination through Krishi Vikas Kendras. So that's all about this topic, and we have covered holistically about the program which has been recently launched, that is One Scientist One Product program, and we have also covered about ICAR. These factual data will come very handy for both UPSC mains and prelims. If you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to watch this video again. Look at this question. Consider the following statements regarding ICAR. ICAR was established in 1929 under Society Registration Act 1860. It has its headquarters in Bangalore. Genetic modification of crops are under the regulation of ICAR. How many of the above statements is or correct? 1 only, 1 and 3 only, 2 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. So the correct answer is 1 only, because ICAR was established in 1929 under the Society Registration Act of 1860 and the other two options are wrong. So with this, let's move on to our next topic for the discussion. Look at this article. It talks about Mughal Emperor. Mainly, this article highlights the focus on revealing the harsh and brutal methods used historically to punish those accused of treason. And with respect to this article, we are going to see the architecture of Mughal India in holistic manner, because architecture will be the major focus point for UPSC prelims and also for mains. So let's get started. Mughal Emperor traces his history back to 16th century, where it has emerged as a historically significant power under the ruler Babur. Several eminent personalities include Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Knowing the chronology will come very handy in UPSC prelims, and they reflect influences of Persia, Central Asia and also Indian architectural models. Now let us see the key features of Mughal architecture. The first thing is material. They mainly used red sandstone and white marble. The second marked feature is their garden, which actually forms a part of the fort architecture, which is also known as Chaba, which is actually 4-part garden structure. The next one is inclusion of domes and minarets. And one thing to be noted here is The construction of dome was not actually invented by the Mughals. It was actually being used more frequently during the Mughal period. Please note this. And moving on, they are also known for this ornamentation, which indicates the intricate inlay work we can see in the major Mughal architecture. Now let us see several important architectural monuments in India Mughal time period. The first one will be undoubtedly Taj Mahal. It is located in Agra. It is constructed between 1632 to 1653. Mainly constructed using white marble, it has inlay work and also known for its intricate Persian and Indian influence. And also know that it has been included in the UNESCO World Heritage Site. The second one is Red Fort. It is located in Delhi, constructed between 1638 and 1648. It is mainly a Mughal fortification, reflects the Mughal palace architecture of that time. Urban planning of that time, and more importantly, it is constructed using red sandstone. The third one is Humayun's tomb, which is located in Delhi and constructed between 1565 and 1572. It is actually the first Mughal garden tomb and also known as a precursor to Taj Mahal. It mainly reflects the Persian influence in Indian architecture. Moving further, let us see about Fatehpur Sikri, which is located in Uttar Pradesh and constructed in the period of 1571 to 1585. It actually reflects the vision of Akbar because it is a blend of different architectural styles, and it also known for its city planning and execution at that point of time. Next one is Jama Masjid of Delhi. It has been constructed during the period 1650 to 1656. It is actually the largest mosque in India and mainly constructed using red sandstone, white marble, and also known for its symmetrical work. The next one is Shalimar Bagh of Srinagar. Constructed during 1619 to 1626, it is a perfect example of Mughal garden and terrace level water channels. The next one will be Itmad-ud-Daulah tomb of Agra. Constructed during 1622 to 1628. It is also known as Baby Taj because it is mainly constructed using white marble, so it is naturally called as a precursor to Taj Mahal. So with this, we have come to the end of this article discussion. Here we have discussed several important architectural works of Mughal Emperor. Understanding this is very important for UPSC prelims in the coming years. So with this understanding, let us try to solve some prelims practice question. Which of the following is a Mughal architectural achievement? Qutub Minar, Humayun's tomb, Hawa Mahal, Brihadishwarar temple. And the correct answer is Humayun's tomb. With this, let's move on to the next question. Our next article is going to be on a global call to embrace sustainable energy solution. Let us see why it is actually in news. It is in news because World Biofuel Day is observed annually on August 10th. So, with this backdrop, let us see what is actually biofuel means. So, what are biofuels? Biofuels are the renewable energy sources made from organic materials such as plant, biomass, animal waste, and recycled cooking oil. It is actually an alternative to the fossil fuel because they can help to reduce greenhouse gas emission. See, the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy is actually responsible for the management of biofuels in India. Please don't confuse between the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy and the Ministry of Petroleum, because here the New and Renewable Energy Ministry is actually responsible for bioenergy and biofuels. India has actually initiated Global Biofuel Alliance in the year 2023 in G20 Summit. It actually aims to develop an alliance of government, international organization and industry to promote the adoption of biofuels. Now moving on, let us see different types of biofuel. There are ethanol, biodiesel, biogas and advanced biofuel. So let us see them individually. Firstly, the ethanol. See, ethanol is a type of alcohol made by fermenting sugar found in crops like corn, sugarcane and wheat. It is commonly used as a fuel additive to gasoline, making it a popular biofuel for vehicles. National Policy on Biofuel 2018 and PM GI-Van Yojana are the key initiatives looking for ethanol blending to reduce greenhouse gas emission. The next one is biodiesel. See, biodiesel is made from vegetable oil, animal fats or recycled grease. It is used in diesel engines either on their own or blended with petroleum diesel. The next one is biogas. See, biogas is produced through the anaerobic digestion of organic matter such as manure, sewage and food waste. It is mainly consists of methane and can be used for heating, electricity generation and as vehicle fuel. Now moving on, let us see about other advanced biofuels. These include cellulose ethanol, algae-based fuel and the next generation biofuel that are produced from non-food crops or waste material. They are actually designed to provide highest energy efficiency and lower environmental impact than the first generation biofuels. So moving on, let us see the different categories of biofuel. The first one is the first generation. It is actually sourced from the food products such as sugar, starch, oil and fats. And examples include bioalcohol, biodiesel, vegetable oil and biogas. The second generation, it is actually sourced from non-food crops or the crop waste. For example, the biodiesel. The third generation is actually from the microorganisms. For example, butanol. The fourth generation is from genetically modified crops and organisms. Example, corn ethanol, soya biodiesel. Moving on, let us see what are the benefits of biofuel. See, it is majorly a renewable energy source. So, it actually reduces the dependence on imports because the fossil fuels are being imported from several European and American states. And more importantly, it has its ability to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. And moving on to the biofuel, has the potential to create additional jobs and income for farmers because the crop residue wastage has been reduced and it has been used alternatively in a profitable manner. And in addition, it also helps in waste management. Now let us see what are actually the challenges of biofuel in India. It is actually having lower energy density than actual fossil fuels, and it also have the potential for food shortages because there is a concern of diverting the food sources for monetizing through fossil fuel generation instead of getting into the market for consumption. The next one is deforestation and land use change. And finally, the water scarcity also will be a bothering point in ensuring the development of biofuels. Moving on, let us see what are the government initiatives in this regard. The first one is the National Policy on Biofuels 2018. It expands ethanol production and also promotes ethanol blending. The next one is Pradhan Mantri JI-Van Yojana, which actually supports second generational ethanol projects and also focuses on research and development, which is of prime importance at this point of time. And the next one is GOBAR-DHAN Scheme, which actually converts cattle dung and waste to biogas, compost and bio-CNG. Moving on, let us see what is the solution lying forward. Effective implementation of schemes and policy has been quoted as a mandatory requirement. And furthermore, the collaboration between government, private sector, NGO can also aid in streamlining the goals of national policy on biofuels. And more importantly, it requires increased awareness about biofuels among the civilians, more importantly in the agriculture sector. So with this understanding, let us try to solve this question displayed here. Discuss the environmental challenges in the transition to green energy and also suggest measures to reduce the impact on environment. If you guys interested in attending this question, please write it in the comment section below and we will be reviewing your answers. So with this understanding, let us move on to our next topic for the discussion today. Our next article is taken from Hindu editorial. It is talking about the refugee rights, the gendered nature of displacement. So let us see what is this article is actually about. See, the article highlights severe challenges faced by displaced women, especially refugees with mental health issues. It also notes that these women suffer more violence and psychological trauma compared to men and often lack adequate support. Despite some international guarantees, such as from UN, India's legal and other support system don't fully address these challenges. So with this backdrop, let us holistically understand several international conventions, initiatives and also the challenges with respect to refugees across the globe. So let's get started. So what are the legal provisions that are available? See, there is no specific refugee law in India. And also note that India is not a party to 1951 Refugee Convention of United Nations. And secondly, the constitutional protection such as Article 21, right to life and personal liberty has been frequently violated and not been guaranteed to the persons who are considered as refugees in India. The next one is the United Nations High Commission for Refugee, that is UNHCR, operates in India and provides protection and assistance for refugee. And also its presence helps to manage refugee affairs and supports legal and humanitarian needs. The next one is Legal Framework for the Person with Disability, also known as RPWDA, which provides rights to the person with disability. While it covers the mental illness to some extent, it does not explicitly address the refugee, which limits its applicability for disabled people. And also the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, also known as CEDAW, which mandates protection to women's rights, including those in the displaced situation, though its application to refugee is in there. Moving on, let us see India's asylum history. Firstly, in the partition that occurred in 1947, mass migration from Pakistan has been provided asylum in India. Then during the Tibetan refugee crisis of 1959, asylum granted to Dalai Lama and other refugees. Then during Bangladeshi crisis in 1971, millions of people have been migrated in India and has been awarded refugee status within the country also. The next one, during the Sri Lankan Tamil crisis of 1980, influx due to the civil conflict, refugee asylum has been provided to them also. Then with respect to the Afghan refugee of 1980 and in 2000, asylum provided during Soviet invasion and also during the Tibetan rule. Then the Chakma refugees of 1990, then presently the Rohingya refugees of 2020 and at present are several examples of asylum provided within India. Now moving on, let us see what is actually the current approach for the asylum status and refugee status in India. See, India is following a mix of humanitarian aid, temporary asylum and integration of several other legal and international conventions. And there is a difference between case to case approach because there is no specific law with respect to refugee in India. And also know that India has been recognized historically as an asylum provider. Now moving on, let us see the 1951 Refugee Convention. It gave the first definition of refugee. Refugee fleeing persecution based on race, religion, nationality, social group or political opinion. It is based on the principle of non-refoulement, that is, no return while there is a danger. And it also provides for rights based on non-discrimination, legal status and also provision for work and education. And it also ensures responsibility on state to respect the rights, cooperate with UNHCR to grant fair asylum procedure. The 1967 protocol, which actually expanded the protections to the 1951 convention and also removed geographical limits. Now let us see why India did not sign the 1951 Refugee Convention, majorly because of sovereignty concerns. Because there has been a binding obligation on India which actually affects sovereignty in decision making. And also there has been a concern because it violates the domestic framework, because India has been over a long period has been following several ad hoc measures and bilateral agreements to deal with refugee crisis time to time. And also there is uncertainty because of security and geopolitical volatility, because national security has been a prior concern for India. Then finally, legal and policy challenges also preventing India to readily accept the Refugee Convention of 1951. Now, with this understanding, let us try to answer this question. Discuss India's policy on refugee with some examples and why India is not a part of Refugee Convention. If you are interested in answering this question, please write it in the comment section below, which will be reviewed by the faculties of our esteemed academy. So with this, we have come to end of our today's discussion. That's all for today's discussion. If you like this video, please hit like, share and comment. Thank you.